Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and I have my third layout here using my scrap stash kit called Mr. Fox. And this one is about a toad that has been living in our backyard. And we only see him after it rains. And when we first moved to Clovis, he was there that first day. Like the first day that we got here in the evening, sort of. And then the next day it rained all day, and we saw him that day. And ever since then, he's been in our yard every single time it rains. And we've had a pretty rainy summer so far, so we've seen him quite a bit. So I snapped a picture of him one day, and I wanted to write this down because, I mean, that thing is huge. He is ridiculously huge. And my girls are just fascinated by him. So what I'm doing is I had this cloud paper, which is by We Are Memory Keepers, and it's a scrap because I had punched out or I had cut out some clouds to use on another project. So I wanted to use the paper still, even though the clouds were punched out. So what I did was I layered some paper behind it, and it's that Floral Paper by Lily Bee. So it kind of comes out through, and I mounted that all on that burnt orange cardstock that I have a ridiculous amount of. And in order to help them kind of stand out a little bit more, I'm just going to go through and I'm going to outline the clouds with my Sharpie. And I make a couple of little mistakes, like around the corners and stuff. My Sharpie kind of slips a little bit, but I'm going to cover that up. So it's not a problem. But I like the way it just kind of helps it stand out a little bit more. And I mounted my picture on a piece of craft cardstock. I feel like I always have to mount my pictures on cardstock for some reason. Sometimes I venture out and I don't do that, but most of the time I do. And this is a sheet that is also by Lily Bee that just has a bunch of shapes that you can, they're perforated so you could just pull them off. And I'm going to use this oversized bracket, which is in the same image, the same pattern as the paper underneath, behind the clouds there. So I'm going to kind of bring that to the right hand side of the layout, and I'm using my Sharpie, my thick Sharpie, to outline, not really outline, but just to kind of color in and mark around the edges and stuff so that it ties in nicely with the clouds that are outlined. And since I'm putting pattern paper on pattern paper, it's nice to kind of have that little separation there. So I'm going to put that on the right-hand side of my layout there next to the picture. I'm going to use quite a few things to kind of just fill in that cloud paper because it's really beautiful, but it's, if it's just by itself, it looks a little bit bare and plain to me. So I'm going to use a few things to kind of just fill up some of that space. And I'm using the sticker. It says "Too Cool" on the top, and that is by My Mind's Eye from that sticker sheet. I'm just going to go ahead and get some of my stuff stuck down here. And I'm going to do my journaling on this kind of gray grid paper. It's just a scrap that I had. That paper's by American Crafts. And I'm just going to do my journaling. It's not going to be very much. I don't have a ton to say about a toad that lives in our backyard, just how cool it was that we saw him. And, we've seen him quite a few times over the summer. And I'm watching Criminal Minds, so I'm kind of looking at my iPad while I'm writing as well. I'd be getting a little distracted, but it's okay. Shamar Moore can distract me any day, right? And I'm going to use one of these cork arrows to kind of layer that on top of that awkward space there where the picture and the journaling spot meet. So this is a little rub-on pack that I got from Studio Calico. I think it was just a little freebie, like, thanks for resubscribing to our kits thing that I got And you know, it's a bunch of weather images and stuff. So I'm going to take all these raindrops and just kind of scatter them throughout here. They're very subtle. They're not like in your face raindrops, but they look nicely placed around on this paper. So I used up all the raindrops on there, and I'm going to also use a few stars, these orange stars here. I think there's 4 or 5 of them. And I'm also going to cut out a couple of these clouds. There's a set of blue clouds and a green cloud, and I'm just going to kind of layer those in as well. They're very subtle since they're rub-ons, you know, they're not like super bam, but they're just a nice little touch, little detail. And there's 4 of these Studio Calico stars, so I'm just gonna, you know, rub those on randomly. And I really like the way that turned out. And I'm going to do my title. It's going to be Clovis Toad. And these thickers, I did not have all the letters I needed in either one of these fonts, but I wanted to use it because it's nice and big and it's thick, and I have them and I want to use them up. So I decided to just mix them up together. And it didn't matter, you know, what color was where. There was no pattern to it really. I just kind of did it. And I like that it's the same font, but it's in 2 different colors. And I'm going to use up all of these light blue enamel dots. So now all I have left on that pack is pink. I don't think I've ever used an entire row of enamel dots on one project before, so that was pretty cool. But I use those enamel dots to cover up the little mistakes that I had made when my Sharpie slipped while I was outlining. That's the big ones cover those spots. So that's how I covered up my little mistake there. And I'm using this Amy Tangerine sticker sheet, and I'm just kind of adding some small little green details that are in there since there's so much green in that picture. So there's like a little leaf and a star and a heart maybe, and a little thing that says, a little sticker that says hi right next to the picture. And above the picture there I just put a teal, it's like a hand-drawn squiggly, almost like a squiggly line thing. And I'm using up this last strip of this orange striped washi tape that I had on that tag, so that's all I had left of that piece of washi tape there, so that's used up. And the last thing I'm going to sprinkle in here around the clouds are these brads, and I use up that rest of that package. So they're just striped. There's one that has kind of like a asterisk star on it, and then the rest are just like blue, either blue striped or green striped. And it just kind of adds one more little layer of dimension into this paper, and it adds just a tiny bit more color and detail. So I really like that. And I'm going to get these all hooked in, and then I'm going to use washi tape on the back, so that way when I put them in my album, the brads are not going to rip up any of my page protectors or other pages or anything. And that is going to complete my layout. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you again real soon. Bye.